How Buhari boys stopped Fani-Kayode from replacing Mohammed as information minister. Welcome to the news, and thank you for tuning in to listen. Please listen to the end. Facts have emerged why former Minister of Aviation, Mr. Fani-Kayode, has not been appointed a minister after staging a return to the APC some weeks ago. It was widely reported that President Muhammad Buhari would embark on a cabinet reshuffle for the second time since taking over as president, and one of the persons expected to be compensated was the president's first critic, Mr. Fani-Kayode. But that has not happened yet, and the reason, according to the Whistler's finding, may be due to pressure mounted on the president by those who have formed a formidable bloc around him known as Buhari boys. People around the presidential villa know that they have the ears of the president because they trust them. Among this group are ministers, legislators, and close presidential aides. They include the Senate President Ahmed Lawan, the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy Mr. Issa Pantami, Presidential Spokesman Garba Shehu, and another minister from the Northwest. The Buhari boys are an emerging power bloc in the administration. They are young and emerging politicians who were elected or appointed in Buhari's government. They hope to advance Buhari's political philosophy and ideology, believing that the presidential had done well and should be celebrated. These informed the recent writing by the Presidential Special Assistant of Media, Femi Adesina, in which he said Nigerians respect Buhari more than former Nigerian president. The late Nnamdi Azikiwe and former nationalist, late Obafemi Awolowo Malami, was said to be opposed to Mr. Fani-Kayode's emergence as a minister after his relentless attacks on the president at every given opportunity. It has told the Whistler in an exclusive interview on Sunday that the president was prevailed upon not to make the move, as it would only cast him and his administration in bad light, but give another opportunity for critics to accuse him of condoning corruption. The group was alleged to have informed the president of Mr. Fani-Kayode's lack of political importance, even though the latter was well received in a well-publicized red carpet reception by the president at the villa. While it was alleged that Mr. Fani-Kayode's reception was planned by the APC caretaker national chairman, Mai Malabuni, and Buhari's chief of staff, Mr. Braham Gambari, the group means no words in telling the president that Mr. Fani-Kayode had no political value. The former minister was not welcome in his home state of Osun, which he claimed as his ancestral home, and failed to turn up to register to obtain the party's membership card. Instead, Mr. Fani-Kayode obtained the membership card in Abuja after playing host to party executive from the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC. These developments, many observers cited as a reason why Mr. Fani-Kayode's re-entry into APC has no real political consequence. In fact, the source who made the revelation alleged that the Minister of Information and Culture, Mr. LAI Mohammed, was billed to be sacked, while Mr. Fani-Kayode would have replaced him. This was expected to ensure that Fani-Kayode's relentless attack would now have been targeted at his former party, the PDP, the source explained. The highly placed source at the presidential villa further explained, while there was divided opinion on Mr. Fani-Kayode's re-entry into APC, it was well calculated and arrived at to allow him clean up exactly what he had accused the president and party to be. Reminded that being the Minister of Information was different from being a party spokesman or the president's spokesman, he believed that selling the president's performance is the same as telling people you were wrong in your earlier criticism. You criticize the president and turn around to tell people how excellent he has performed means you are selling him. What better way than your enemy speaking good of you? All the fallacies and inconsistencies would be the same things that he would have started to clean up. But a formidable group loyal to the president, even though circumspect, but later disposed to his return to the APC, placated the president that it was a wrong move. Instead, they said Mr. Fani-Kayode should be used as APC spokesman during the presidential election campaign from last year. Another source craving anonymity said it would have been a disaster to immediately appoint not just someone who had vilified and said unprintable things about the president, but is standing trial for corruption as a minister days after he rejoined APC. The reliable source, who is an APC national executive member, told the Whistler in a telephone chat that it would have been counterproductive to appoint a man of Mr. Fani-Kayode's standing as a minister days after he decamped to a party called Fulani Party. He stated further, nothing he did not say of Mr. President. How then do you marry the two, even though he had said then He has said things that had changed before he rejoined APC. But I tell you what, not many people are real political stakeholders in the party believed him. We know Nigerian politicians are shameless and as all they care for is their pockets, but there's a depth to these things. We must not allow people who speak freely because they hide under ethnic umbrella to get away with it. The Justice Minister, being a man of high moral standing, would not have accepted such inglorious appointment. I am not saying it will not happen. It may and may not, but for now, it has not happened and the timing was wrong, he added. It was revealed that the whistler that one of the promises made to Mr. Fani-Kayode once he rejoined the APC was compensating him with an appointment, specifically a ministerial position. But the inner forces of opposition against such a move, especially as Mr. Fani-Kayode received a lot of sticks, have convinced the president that it would have been a bad political calculation if he went ahead with the appointment. The source said this development was what has delayed the second cabinet reshuffle by the president in as many years since his emergence as president. An adage says that a rabbit does not run an afternoon race for nothing. So much for Fani-Kayode, but that should have been a good riddance to batch rubbish for LAI Mohammed. They should have allowed Femi to betray LAI Mohammed to teach him a lesson. Betrayal has become part of him. It has eaten deep in his body and he cannot stop it. EFCC, please don't forget Fani-Kayode now as he's hiding under the umbrella of APC. Fani-Kayode, shame on you. You think they do not know you and your values. They said you are valueless and they've reduced you to nothing. That is just the beginning. They know you as an unstable man. Fani-Kayode of all people would have been given a ministerial appointment. That would have finished President Mohammed Buhari's government finally. Buhari and APC must be a fool, oh my goodness, for thinking in the direction of appointments for FFK, someone who cannot win an election in his father's compound, someone who have no public reputation, someone who have no organized family, and I do not believe Buhari will try that nonsense of appointing that double-mouth thief into any position. This is really sad. This is what happens when you're not a man of your word. When they cannot hold you. Today you say yes, tomorrow you say no. Today you say yes to white, tomorrow you say yes to black. You keep changing and changing and changing things. And it is going to reduce the little value and the little respect any other person would have for you. Well, it would have been a big blow to the administration of Buhari if this particular ministerial appointment came immediately. It would have been, yes, they said they're going to fight corruption, and indeed, their hospitality, their housing corruption, or they are making Nigeria, or I beg your pardon, they are causing more corruption. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning to listen until I come your way next time. Enjoy the rest of the day.